Hi, it's Katrina. From the longest snake in the world to the heaviest animal in history, here are 13 of the largest animals ever recorded. Number 13. Japanese spider crab. These appropriately named spider crabs are not only creepy, but they can be the size of your car. The Japanese spider crab is the largest arthropod in the world. With long, spindly legs and a disproportionate body, they can grow to be over 12 feet long and weigh up to 44 pounds. They can be found usually in the deep sea off of the coast of Japan. So don't worry, unless you are deep sea fishing or hanging around at 2,000 feet below sea level, you should be okay. The Japanese spider crab has been known to have a very long lifespan and can live up to 100 years or more. While it might look ferocious, they are actually gentle giants and rely on camouflage to protect themselves. However, sailors used to fear these beasts since they could easily slice off your finger. If you handle them incorrectly, of course they can hurt you. They are known for scavenging the ocean floor, searching for easy prey, and maybe some dead bodies that washed overboard. They can survive even when missing 3 legs, and there is evidence that they may even grow back if one goes missing, even though it might take a few years. We don't know how many of them are out there, and they might get even bigger than we know. The largest one on record is Crabzilla, who was 5 feet tall and almost 13 feet long. He was put on display at an aquarium in Europe. Number 12. The ostrich. The ostrich is officially the largest bird on Earth in terms of body size and height. They can grow up to 9 feet tall and can weigh up to 320 pounds. Now, as you know, ostriches can't fly, but that's okay by them. They can run really fast. In fact, they can run up to 60 miles per hour. They also have the largest eye of any land animal, 2 inches in diameter, and they lay the biggest eggs in the world, which can weigh up to 3 pounds when all is said and done. Wild ostriches used to live all over the world, but now can be found in the wild in sub-Saharan Africa. Number 11. Continental giant rabbit. Normally when you think of rabbits, you probably picture a cute little fluffy bunny you can hold in the palm of your hand, like this. Well, meet Ralph, a continental giant rabbit. He is 4 years old and has been named the largest rabbit in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records and happens to weigh 55 pounds. Did you know rabbits could get this big? This bunny eats $90 of groceries a week. Every day he eats cabbage, broccoli, corn on the cob, half a cucumber, a carrot, sweet corn, 2 slices of brown bread, 2 apples, half a bag of watercress, and crackers. Continental giant rabbits have been around for a long time, since the 16th century, and are thought to be descendants of the Flemish giant rabbit from Belgium. They come in all kinds of colors, and if you're up for that big grocery bill and have lots of space, this is a great pet for you. And now for number 10. But first, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back! And for the early squad, I see you! Thanks so much for all of your support. Number 10. Saltwater Crocodile. For crocodiles and alligators, size really does matter. Their large size and enormous strength makes them excellent predators, and only the biggest and toughest survive. The largest of all is the saltwater crocodile, which averages about 20 feet long. Saltwater crocodiles can be found everywhere from Southeast Asia to northern Australia. They lurk beneath the surface, waiting for potential predators to stop by for a drink of water. They have the greatest bite force ever and may even have rivaled the bite of the T-Rex. Between its quick strike ability and 2,000-pound weight, it can latch onto its prey and drag it under the water without too much trouble. The largest saltwater crocodile on record is Lolong, a croc found in the Philippines. He measured at 20 feet 3 inches and weighed 2,370 pounds. Villagers were terrified that Lolong was responsible for the death of a fisherman and a young girl, so he was hunted down over 3 weeks. It took over 100 people to bring him onto land, and he was kept in captivity until he died of heart failure. To learn more about other gigantic crocodiles, be sure to check out my video on the biggest crocodiles in the world. There's some great facts in there. Number 9. Southern elephant seal. Sometimes you just have to wonder, what was nature thinking making these animals so huge? Just by the name alone, you know that elephant seals are going to be huge. The southern elephant seal can measure up to 22 feet long, with the longest measuring 22.5 feet long. But that's not all. These guys are heavy. That behemoth of a seal weighed 11,000 pounds after it was hunted down and measured in pieces in 1913. Not only does it get its name from its large size, but also from the proboscis of the adult male that looks kind of like a trunk. It produces a large roar, especially during the mating season. Female elephant seals are much smaller than the males, only about 10 feet long, and they weigh about 2,000 pounds. Watching these guys on National Geographic is extremely traumatizing, so I would avoid watching these documentaries if I were you. You have been warned. Number 8. Giraffe. As you probably have guessed, giraffes are the tallest animals in the world. Males can grow up to 18 feet tall and females can reach 14 feet. Fun fact, a giraffe's heart can be 2 feet long and weigh 25 pounds. They are native to the savannas throughout Africa and are very social creatures. So why are giraffes so tall? It has long been a theory that their long necks evolved to help them reach the food at the tops of trees. But now, scientists think it has little to do with food and more to do with sex. Biologists believe that females naturally select males with longer necks because they find them more attractive. The world's tallest giraffe named Zulu measures 20 feet tall and would be very impressive in the wild. Unfortunately, because of the breeding program regulations in the EU, Zulu has been destined to the life of a bachelor. Number 7. Queen Alexandra's Birdwing. The Queen Alexandra's birdwing is the largest butterfly in the world. Its wingspan can get to over a foot long, and while that might not sound like much for most creatures, that is one huge insect. This beautiful butterfly is actually extremely rare, and it can only be found in Papua New Guinea. Sadly, when it was discovered by the West, it was already endangered, and it fetches a high price on the black market since it's so rare. Early collectors used to shoot them down with a shotgun since they were so large and flew too high for them to grab with a net. Most of them we see today are raised from eggs. Just imagine walking through the forest and a gigantic butterfly flying towards your face. Number 6. The wandering albatross. You might not necessarily associate birds with massively large creatures, but it's all a matter of perspective. While the bodies of the wandering albatross aren't exactly huge, their wingspans make them the largest bird species living today. They have a wingspan of about 12 feet, which is double the size of an average human with their arms outstretched. They need this wingspan too because they aren't called wandering albatrosses for no reason. They are some of the most far-ranging birds on the planet and even circumnavigate the Southern Ocean 3 times in a year. That's 75,000 miles. There were many birds that had much bigger wingspans than the wandering albatross, some of them even double, but they are now extinct. Number 5. The colossal squid. Squids are one of those big mysteries of the ocean that many are desperate to solve. There have been rumors and legends about just how big these creatures can grow, which is why many of their species have names with adjectives like giant or colossal next to them. But that does beg the question, which of these is the biggest ever recorded? That prize goes to the colossal squid, which was once caught and recorded at 45 feet long. These guys live very, very deep down in the ocean, so they are very hard to study and are a perfect example of abyssal gigantism, where the colder and darker the ocean, the bigger the creatures, like the Japanese crab. It's very possible, though, that there are squids down there that are bigger, but for ones that have been caught, this is the biggest. Most scientists believe that they can grow at least 6 feet or larger, and legends of the biggest squid of all, the kraken, persist to this day. Number 4. The African elephant. One of the kings of the animal world and the world's largest land mammal, elephants are massive in virtually every category. But when it comes to the African elephant, it gets even bigger. They're around 13 feet tall, which may not seem big at first, but you have to remember that this is also a creature that weighs 13,000 pounds and can crush you without blinking its eye. The largest elephant recorded was shot in Angola in 1956. It weighed about 24,000 pounds and was about 35 feet long from tail to trunk. They get big. They are often hunted for their ivory tusks, which is illegal, and their populations remain endangered. Number 3. Asiatic Reticulated Python. Oh yeah, you knew a snake would be on the list. After all, there are some massive and long snakes out there. But the question is, what's the biggest one ever recorded? Well, it's not a boa constrictor, believe it or not, but the Asiatic Reticulated Python. These pythons are the largest snakes in Asia, and they can measure up to 6 meters long. It's actually pretty hard to measure a live snake, but the longest snake ever recorded measured at 33 feet long, although this record from the 1920s is a little questionable. Currently, the longest snake in captivity is Medusa, a reticulated python from Kansas City, Missouri. She measures 7.67 meters long, and it took 15 people to hold her at full length. She's known to purr when she's happy and hiss when she's not. Fun fact, the previous record holder was a reticulated python named Fluffy. Perfect name for a snake. Number 2. Sharks. Sharks are a very interesting thing when it comes to size. While some sharks are absolutely massive, some are actually quite small, and despite popular belief, not all are aggressive man-eaters. In fact, the biggest sharks only eat plankton, like the whale shark, that is also the largest living fish, period. The largest whale shark caught off of Pakistan was 41.5 feet long and weighed 28 tons. When it comes to predatory, scary sharks though, like the great white, measurements of the shark are dubious. This is a true case of a "it was this big" story. In fact, even the Guinness Book of World Records had to change its stats for the biggest shark ever recorded because the information was deemed unreliable. However, there have been some that have been verified by multiple trustworthy sources. The biggest great white shark ever recorded came in just above 21 feet long and weighed over 7,000 pounds. That's a really big shark. Just in February of this year, a female great white was filmed that is also said to be the biggest. She's estimated to be around 20 feet long too, so it's hard to say. It's very possible that there are more out there that are much bigger, but probably keep to themselves deep down in the ocean. Number 1. The blue whale. The blue whale is the largest animal ever known to have existed. We're pretty lucky to be living in the same time period, although the blue whale has been almost exterminated due to commercial whaling. Blue whales can live between 80 and 90 years and are usually 82 to 105 feet long. They can weigh over 200 tons and their heart can weigh as much as a car. Seeing as they eat mostly krill, it's hard to say how they get so big. The largest one ever recorded was around 112 feet long and weighed 419,000 pounds. Fun fact, they are some of the loudest animals on the planet. It's believed that under good conditions, they can hear each other from 1,000 miles away. There is still aggressive hunting going on, especially from Japan, despite international protection. However, in certain areas of the globe, they are making a comeback. Thanks for watching! What was your favorite animal on the list? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone!